Hey everybody, welcome back to Jon David's Journey. Here's Jon David and I'm his dad, Justin. Today was a pretty steady day. He made some progress. On his oxygen, he actually got down to 5 over 40 at one point today, meaning 5 liters per minute and 40% oxygen. However, he didn't sustain that. He went back to kind of where he was this morning, which is 6 liters over 55%, which again, in the grand scheme of things, is not terrible. He just held steady, so we're back to where we started. He did take some steps forward in some other areas, such as he got to start drinking breast milk today, so he likes Mallory's breast milk. He gets 25% breast milk to 75% formula. Over time, they should wean that down, going more breast milk than formula. Now, that being said, all of his food right now is coming through the Lindy tube, and that will still continue for quite some time. He should wean over time to getting a bottle, but just like weaning him to full breast milk, it'll take time to wean him to a full bottle. He also weaned on 2 of his medications today, which is not normal. Typically we do 1. However, they were pretty small weans. So the clonidine, he went down from 13 micrograms to 12 micrograms, so only about a 7% change. And then his methadone, he went from 0.45 to 0.4, which is about a 9% change. So he is steadily progressing down on those medications, which are one of the largest things keeping us here. Honestly, the 2 things that are keeping us here are those medications, along with his oxygen. In order to be able to go home, he has to be off of the methadone, the clonidine, the Ativan, and then he also has to be on low-flow oxygen, which will be below 2 liters per minute. And quite honestly, it's usually about a liter or less they feel comfortable sending him home on. In best case scenario, he won't be on any oxygen, but those are kind of the thresholds and the goals that we've got set for him in order to be able to go home, which we asked somebody today, and conservatively it's probably going to be the end of May. But we have to just keep chipping away at this day at a time. And right now he's had 4 or 5 good days in a row, so we are happy for any steady progress day, no matter how small. Now, Jon David, just like Hunter, loves bubbles, and you'll be able to see that in this picture here in a little bit. We also had a visit from some coworkers, or former coworkers of Mallory, Catalina and Madison, who made the drive up here to see us for a little bit. We also had a visit from Aunty Ruby, who came by to have a talk with Jon David because he was desatting a little bit in the middle of the day, and she had to come correct him, like she usually does, and he listened to her. Hunter also had fun playing in the post holes that were dug by a construction crew at Mimi and Papa's house. He basically was in a big dirt yard for a while and played for a couple hours. He also had fun at Pearson Company eating snacks and getting steaks for supper tonight. Jon David also lost his chest bandage today, so he now officially is just a zipper scar. It's completely closed up. The bottom there is still a little scab, but everything else is closed up completely, so we are well on our way to not having to have a chest bandage. We also got a chance to FaceTime Hunter tonight, which was pretty awesome. He was in a pretty good mood. And we're looking at having his pacing wires come out tomorrow. There's a little redness around the site, but he's not showing really any signs of infection, and he hasn't had to have them used in about 3 weeks. So we're hoping that they'll be able to get them out, so that way it'll be one less infection risk, it'll be one less piece of equipment, and so we'll be able to start moving forward with that. Also, we've made some friends here in the PCICU, and they are actually getting ready to go home, and one of the things you have to do is do a practice NG tube on a baby doll they have around here, and they thought it would be fun to have a haunted crib, and so this baby was put up on the crib, and it was pretty funny. People were walking by and getting like, oh my gosh. So you'll see that here in the pictures in a little bit, but it was a pretty good little prank. Again, while we're here, we gotta have some fun or else we'll go insane. So, also, Jon David loves to be held like this. He loves his snuggles, especially when he gets a little waddy, or that's their way of around here of saying that he's going through withdrawals. So he gets a little uncomfortable and loves being held. But thanks to Miss Sarah and Mallory, they fixed him a new bed, and so he has not been in it yet, but when he does get in it, I'm sure he'll love it. Tomorrow he'll turn 2 months, so hopefully he'll break 9 pounds. Right now he's 8:15 and a half, so right on the edge. And I've been talking about the mayfly swarm coming about.
You don't like mayflies either?
A lot of people do not like them. However, they are very pretty when they swarm in the afternoons when they're doing their mating ritual. They only live for a day outside the water, so they don't have a day to find a mate, and this is how they do it, is flying in this, what they call a mayfly dance, and we caught it on camera. Thank you to Mrs. Gore for sending it to me, and y'all can enjoy it. Before I got done editing, we also had a visit from Uncle Matt, and so I felt like I needed to put that in here. He gets the name Uncle Matt, if y'all haven't heard this already, because he was our nurse the night that Jon David went into cardiac arrest. And as we have said on here before with Aunt Jen, there are certain members, and like Uncle Andrew as well, there are certain members who don't get a choice in whether or not they're an aunt or uncle. They were there when he had his event, so they are automatically in the family. So thank you, Uncle Matt, for stopping by and checking in on us. Hope you have a good night and God bless.
My family too. We're blessed each day because of you. And I want you to know I love you. Night night.
And Jon David, tell everybody bye-bye.